Hello again, NCAC sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of This Week in the NCAC. I'm your host, Brett Billhart. To open this week's show, we'll unveil our track and field athletes of the week and break down some results from indoor meets from over the weekend. Allegheny, Kenyon, Ohio Wesleyan, and Worcester highlighted the weekend's action at the Worcester NCAC Quad Meet in the Scott Center on Saturday. In the men's competition, Ohio Wesleyan topped the field with 269 points, followed by Allegheny with 123, Kenyon with 71, and Worcester with 58. The OWU women also captured the team title with 221 points, followed by Worcester with 181, Allegheny with 98, and Kenyon with 62. The first Women's Weekly Award winner for distance and middle distance events went to Ohio Wesleyan freshman Katie Reed. Reed took first place in the 800-meter run at the Worcester Quad with a time of 2:26.56. She was also a member of both the winning 4x200 and 4x400 meter relays. Denison sophomore Tiffany Davis garnered the weekly award for sprint and hurdle events after winning the 60-meter dash and 200-meter dash at the annual Denison Lid Lifter meet. Her clocking of 26:32 in the 200 was the third fastest in program history. The final Women's Weekly Award for field events was awarded to Ohio Wesleyan junior Hannah Benzing. Benzing played a vital role in the Bishops' team title at the Worcester Quad by winning the weight throw with a school record toss of 50 feet 3 inches. On the men's side, Ohio Wesleyan senior John Rux collected weekly honors for field events after winning both the shot put and weight throw at the Worcester Quad. He registered a toss of 41 feet 2 3/4 inches in the shot put and a heave of 49 feet 6 inches in the weight throw. Ohio Wesleyan junior Silas Joliffe collected weekly laurels for sprint and hurdle events. He finished second in both the 200 and 400 meter dashes and was a member of both the winning 4x400 and 4x200 meter relays. And our final weekly track award for men's distance events went to Denison junior Chad Kasanovich, who won the 1 mile run in a time of 4:23.09 at the Denison Lid Lifter. His 1 mile time currently stands as the 7th best in program history. In addition, Kazanovich also ran the 1200 meter leg on DU's winning distance medley relay. Track and field action kicks off on Friday night as DePaul hosts its annual Small College Invitational, while Worcester will again play host to a grouping of NCAC squads on Saturday at the Fighting Scott Invitational. The NCAC swimming and diving dual meet season is quickly coming to a close, as a majority of league squads finalized their schedules last week. Friday evening was filled with mixed emotions in Granville as Denison University hosted its final competition in the historic Gregory Pool against Malone. The Big Red men earned a 123-72 victory, while the women captured a 102-21 triumph. Prior to the dual meet, Big Red senior diver Phil Meyer performed the honorary final dive at Gregory Pool, with current Senior Associate Director of Athletics and former DU swimming and diving coach Lynn Schweizer serving as the special judge for the dive. Following Meyer's dive, former Big Red head coach and administrator Ted Barclay served as a guest starter for a special exhibition 50-yard freestyle event that featured the current DU captains as well as 1988 graduate Charlie Lowndes in Lane 1 as a representative of the Denison swimming and diving alumni community. Next fall, the Denison swimming and diving programs will move into a brand new state-of-the-art facility, while the space currently housed by Gregory Pool will be remodeled as a fitness center for the university. The Allegheny women's squad closed out its dual meet season with a 107-92 defeat against Division II Edinboro. However, Gator sophomore Emily Capone set an NCAA qualifying mark for 11 dives on the 1-meter board with a score of 402. Capone garnered NCAC Women's Athlete of the Week laurels for her efforts. The DePaul men's squad slid past 9th-ranked Chicago over the weekend by a 153.5 to 146.5 decision. DPU sophomore Matt Gleason was named the NCAC Men's Athlete of the Week after he earned 3 individual wins to help the Tigers get past the Maroons. He won the 200 fly, 100 fly, and 200 IM, while also swimming a leg on the winning 200 medley relay. Kenyon and Wittenberg also met on Saturday for the final dual meet of the season for both league squads. The Lords earned a 147-88 triumph over Witt, while the ladies posted a 135-95 victory. Dual meet competition will officially draw to a close this Friday when DePaul hosts Rose Hallman in Greencastle. Kenyon will host its annual invitational the final weekend in Gambier, and then the season comes to a climax in Canton, Ohio at the 2012 NCAC Championships from February 16th through the 18th. We'll close out this week's show by taking a look at the competitive races that are coming to form in both men's and women's basketball. On the women's side, DePaul continued its torrid pace through the NCAC with 2 more wins last week against Wittenberg and Ohio Wesleyan to push its winning streak to 16. Allegheny suffered its second conference loss of the season against Kenyon, but still remains in sole possession of second place, with Kenyon right on their heels at 7-3. Denison rounds out the top 4 in the league standings at 5-5, while Wittenberg is just a half a game behind the Big Red at 4-5. Hiram, which currently sits in a tie for 6th in the league standings at 3-7, earned a statement win last week with a 54-50 triumph over Denison. Senior guard Tiffany Shields earned NCAC Women's Basketball Player of the Week laurels after she poured in a game-high 20 points against the Big Red. On the week, Shields averaged 15 points, 8.5 rebounds, and shot 56% from three-point range. Oberlin also picked up a marquee win last week, defeating Wittenberg 73-56 to snap its 7-game conference winless skid. 4 of Oberlin's 5 starters reached double figures in the victory, led by junior Kelly Warlick, who scored 23 points and hauled in 10 rebounds for her 6th double-double of the season. League action will intensify this week as 4 games will be played on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Key matchups to keep an eye on as teams try to align themselves in the league standings include Ohio Wesleyan at Wittenberg on Tuesday, Kenyon at DePaul on Tuesday, and Allegheny at DePaul on Friday. With 3 games on the slate this week, the DPU women can clinch a share of the NCAC title and the number 1 seed in the conference tournament with 3 victories. On the men's side, Wittenberg at 9-1 opened up a 2-game lead in the top of the league standings after earning victories over DePaul and Oberlin. With identical 7-3 marks, Ohio Wesleyan and Worcester sit in a tie for 2nd, while Wabash and DePaul are deadlocked in the 4th spot at 6-4. Denison is in sole possession of the 6th position at 5-5, while Hiram, Kenyon, Allegheny, and Oberlin continue to jockey for the coveted 7th and 8th spots. Allegheny got 1 step closer to one of those slots last week with a key 65-60 victory over Hiram on Wednesday. Gator sophomore Ryan Stanko led the Gators to the victory by erupting for 13 points during a 3-minute stretch late in the second half that helped keep Hiram's comeback bid at bay. Stanko garnered NCAC Men's Basketball Player of the Week award after he also totaled 19 points in a narrow 73-72 setback against Kenyon on Saturday. On the week, Stanko scored 32 points and shot 57% from the field and 62% from beyond the arc. Last Wednesday evening proved to be quite a historic night in NCAC men's basketball as 3 different players eclipsed the 1,000-point plateau, including 2 in the same game. Denison senior Larry Farmer reached the milestone in the Big Red's 70-56 victory over Oberlin and is now the 19th player in DU history to reach the mark. Wittenberg senior Clayton Black and DePaul senior Sean Hastley also reached the milestone in the same gym on Wednesday evening. Black led Wittenberg to the 66-62 victory over DePaul with 19 points to become the 32nd player in Witt history to surpass 1,000 points, while Hastley led DePaul with 14 points, becoming the 24th player in DPU history to reach 1,000 points. Once again, there are 5 games each on Wednesday and Saturday this week, with numerous key matchups to keep a close eye on. Wednesday games are highlighted by Hiram hosting Kenyon and Ohio Wesleyan traveling to Wittenberg, while Saturday features Hiram hosting Denison and Wabash traveling to Worcester. Fans, we once again thank you for tuning in for another episode of This Week in the NCAC, and we hope you tune in next week as we look forward to continually keeping you up to date on action from across the North Coast Athletic Conference. And as always, for up-to-date news, stats, and standings on your favorite NCAC squads, you can visit our website at www.northcoast.org.